Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the vast and thrilling world of survival games. I have handpicked my 10 favourite survival games. Remember, this list isn't ranked, it's just a showcase of some great games I think you should definitely check out. If your favourite survival game is not on the list, it doesn't mean it's not good. I just only wanted to add 10 titles, and I had to cut it somewhere. Per game, I'll give a little bit of my personal opinion, since I know there are endless amounts of lists like this. And in this way, I hope to make it a little more informative. Ark: Survival Ascended. I know you know this one by now. We just can't get around the fact that a survival game with dinosaurs remains very cool. It is this cool because the dinosaurs are an organic resistance in the world that you are trying to break through. It feels very natural that you can't cross certain boundaries on the map because the dinosaurs are guarding it, which makes the moment when you finally do cross that boundary even cooler. I do have to say, though, that currently I would mostly recommend this to players that would play either on their own server, or in single player, or co-op. A PvE server is mostly impossible because everyone builds in the starter areas, and additionally, in bigger populated servers, you have a high chance of running into performance issues. Second up is a weird one. I placed this as the second one because I figured at this point you are still with me. I know this one looks a little strange, but don't judge a book by its cover. This is Sailblazer, and it's a lesser-known gem where you are building your own retail shop in the way you want. You also need to defend it because it gets raided by NPCs on a regular occasion. You do all of this with the regular survival game loop with the new angle that you need to make money that you can make through your shop. Eventually, you can even automate your shop with NPC AI, or raid another once shop through an Elden Ring invasion mechanic. This game goes much more crazy than you would think on first look, and I really enjoyed it. Next, we have Conan Exiles. This is a very solid game, and I enjoyed it a lot playing on a PvE server. After Ark, it was very nice to see that this was still properly possible here. It also has a nice crafting loop that keeps you going. Last few months they overhauled quite some features that were long overdue, like expanded on the purges and added combat fatalities. Additionally, I always have mixed feelings about battle passes, but at least after one of the more recent patches, I can properly do it. Adding another gameplay system, which is pretty nice. Overall, just a very solid survival game that has been a lot of fun, and I dive back into from time to time. Now it's time for Icarus. This game launched under mixed reception because people didn't like its session-based gameplay. After months of strong patches, it's now more a traditional survival game, but with tons of quality of life updates. It's also more of an RPG, giving you more talents to upgrade. Another unique point here is that you need to deal with the environment. The game also looks absolutely amazing. I really like this game. I just want them to add fast travel. The map is huge. At some point you need to make sub-bases, and going from one to the other base takes a lot of time. Are you still with me? Please consider liking and subscribing. That would be highly appreciated. Also, let me know about your favourite survival games. Moving on to Palworld. Do I still need to talk about Palworld? This will most likely be my favourite game of the year. The Pals cause a very similar enjoyment Ark has. Another good mechanic on top of the traditional survival games in the form of Pals. I don't want to waste too much of your time, so let's move to the next one. But if you do want more info, check out my honest opinion on Palworld video. State of Decay 2 is the next one. It's a zombie survival game. The combat still feels very good, and I really like how they worked with the darkness. It still looks cool. The bigger difference here with other survival games is that it has some basic management elements that work very well. You have a growing base of NPCs, and it's your job to make sure they don't die by making sure you have the proper resources. If they do die, you can replace them, but it will have a negative impact on morale, potentially spiralling your entire base downwards. The game has also received continuous updates, making it even stronger than before. Really, the only downside, in my opinion, of this game is how they deal with co-op loot. You both have separate loot, and that's just annoying. The next one is Fallout 76. I have the very unpopular opinion that I have always liked this game. Please don't kill me or downvote. I know it was never as good as other Fallout games, but being a fan of survival games, I really enjoyed this focus. Since then, the game got tons more content, NPCs, quality of life updates. It really became an amazing game. Especially for new players, the endgame is still a bit thin, but for survival fans, there is no reason to not play this at this point. It's very unique for a survival game. Personally, I was a little disappointed in Enshrouded. I was just extremely hyped for a full-on survival RPG combined with voxel destruction. I think the game is a bit linear. In other survival games, I have 5 to 8 options in regards to what I can do, and all of them will progress me. In Enshrouded, it feels more like 1 or 2 options. That also might be because the surviving aspect is quite easy. Saying that, the game looks amazing, plays amazing, might be the best combat in any survival games. The voxel area is still very cool. The glider also really elevates the exploration. The building is also hugely expansive. All of that still makes it one of the best survival games out there, and I recommend it to everyone. Even though, secretly, although after this video, not so secret anymore, I still hope they expand it heavily in early access in regards to giving more options and making the survival elements more important, and I have faith that they will. V Rising combines the survival genre with a vampire theme. It's a top-down survival game with MOBA combat as a vampire theme. That combination works extremely well, and it helps that as a vampire you can't step out in the light, giving an extra element to the survival. It makes it a very unique survival game. The goal of this one is to hunt bosses and get to the top of the food chain. Lastly, we have Core Keeper. Explore a sprawling underground cavern full of ancient mysteries and exotic creatures. Mine, farm and craft in a vibrant subterranean ecosystem where survival is tied to uncovering secrets of the past. It's basically Terraria top-down with Stardew Valley elements. Since you do a whole bunch of farming, they even added automation recently. It's way deeper than you would think it is. That wraps up our list of top 10 survival games in random order. Whether you're crafting weapons, taming beasts, or surviving against the undead, each of these games offers a unique challenge. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which game you're most excited to dive into. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next adventure.